beautiful blind beauty.
Hello everyone and welcome to Blind Beauty. I'm Jennifer. I want to thank you so much for tuning into the channel, first off. And today is Fix It Friday. If you didn't know, we have theme days here. I have Fix It Fridays, I have Superstar Sundays, Anything Goes Mondays, and Tutorial Thursdays. So I do hope you hit that subscribe button to see what goodies I have planned, because I have some pretty neat stuff coming up. So I do hope that you subscribe to see what all's coming. And today what we're going to do is we're going to talk hacks. Okay, some of these hacks that I'm going to talk about or show you, because some of them we are actually going to test together because I've never tried them. But, you know, some of the hacks are tried and true by me that I'm going to mention. But let me know if there are any other hacks that you would like to see me test out. Because there's so many hacks out there that you never know if it's going to work or not. You know? So, yeah. And I'm not wearing a full face of makeup today, but I already have my foundation and my concealer on, as well as my primer, which I will talk about here in a moment. But I've already done one hack, and that to me was a bust. I will insert an image right down here somewhere, and over on the right hand side, or not right hand side, pardon me, left hand side, I'm putting my finger to my right, so it's your left. Right is the before photos, middle is during, and then right side, so yeah, left, middle, right. The right side will be the after. I used tea bags and held them on my eyes after what you're supposed to do is what I did. I brewed some tea using the little personal size tea bags, brewed some tea, and then they were fresh tea bags. You know, so you would think fresh tea bags have the most tannin in it. And I forget what it is that's also supposed to help with it. But either way, I did it. You know, and then in order to cool them down, I took them and I put them in the freezer for a few minutes. Now, I've heard the colder, the better. I've heard, you know, just let them cool and do it. But, you know, I did just the freezer. Now, I didn't leave them in very long. You know, maybe 15, 20 minutes. So, then I took that and I laid them on my eye area, focusing more on the bag area than the actual lid. Because it's supposed to also help with dark circles, too. So, I did that. And for mild bags in the past, it has worked for me. But whenever they're bad, no. Now, one tip that I do have, or one hack rather, that I do have that does work, is you take 2 metal spoons. They do need to be metal, by the way, like some form of metal. You know, they can even be I believe they're 98 cents, $1, something like that, from Walmart. You get like 2 or 3 or 4, something like that, spoons. You take those, you wash them real good, of course, then you throw them in the freezer for about a half hour. Now, you can leave them in the freezer. That's no big deal. You can do that. And then you pull them out and you hold them under the eye, and you can even do a sweeping motion with them as well. So I usually do a combination of holding and then sweep. Hold and sweep. So, because if I hold it on there too long, then I get this like redness there, and I don't want that. If I'm wanting to look good, I don't want to combat redness too under the eyes. So, that's a little tip for you. Now, with primer today, I think all of you know that I absolutely love this. So, I didn't film this because I have videos of my using it already. This is the Monistat Chafing Relief Powder Gel. I heard about this on YouTube, you know, and it works. It really does. Even a long time ago, Melissa, Mel in PHS, she talked about this in one of her videos, and I thought that was pretty cool. And then I believe even Tati, if I'm not mistaken, also used this at one point. So I've seen actual YouTubers, you know, bigger YouTubers, have had this in their videos before. So I take this and I put it on my face as a primer. And you can see that in several of my early videos especially. But that's my primer today. And then I did my foundation and concealer as normal. But I also took concealer and put it on my eyes. I didn't film that because I've also done that several times in videos as well. Tutorials, videos. So I just put my concealer on my eyes as a primer. So we've already primed the eyes. Now what I've done is, and I'm going to show you this too, I've got the, in my recent Project Empties thing, I did use up a monostat, but you can tell, bought a brand new one a while back, so I had it back up, because I love this so much. And then another thing I used up was my e.l.f. HD powder. This one here. So what I did is I took some baby powder, and I put it in the bottom. I'm going to add a little bit more to it, just so that I got more than enough to do what I'm wanting to do here. You know, because this makes a good little thing for adding powder to anyway. So, I've got quite a bit of powder in there. And I'm going to take a big fluffy brush. This is the first hack. I've never done this, never tested it, never tried it. You know, we're using this for two different things here. I'm using a bigger fluffy brush. Not a huge one, but, you know, dip it in. Tap it off like I would a regular powder. Yeah, it looks about like regular powder does, to me, at least. And I'm going to set my T-zone. It really doesn't have too much of a white cast, at least not in my opinion. Because I'm doing this just like I would regular makeup. Going on my T-zone especially. And then I'm going to take my beauty sponge here. Now this isn't completely clean, but the side I'm wanting to use is clean. And I'm going to take another hack idea, because we're doing multiple hacks in this video. This is the L'Oreal Hydra Fresh Toner. I do use this as a setting spray. I've heard that, I don't remember where I heard that it's comparable to Max Fix Plus. I put it in a little spray bottle. You can buy these at Walmart, Dollar Tree, whatever. And I'm just wetting that toner, or wetting that sponge rather. I'm using the Real Techniques Miracle Complexion Sponge. Then I'm dipping it in, and we're going to see what baking does with this. You know, might be a big old disaster, but, you know. And we're going to tap it under that eye. Tap, 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 tap. Tap it under, tap it under. So, we're going to bake one side, and then we're going to just use a regular brush to put it under the other. Now, you got to be very careful, probably, you know, not to get this in your eye, as with any powder, but I'm setting that under eye as well. We got that done here, and the L'Oreal Hydra Fresh Toner, well, add a little bit more here, just for the sake of it. And I'm also setting my eyeshadow with this as well. To me, this actually works, you know. So, now it does look a little cakey, but, you know, sometimes powders do. Even my Coty Airspun can look cakey. So, and I'm going to take this and brush off that bake. I'm looking in my mirror over to your right here. Yeah, that actually looks pretty decent. That's this side here I didn't bake. This side I did. You know. So I just kind of wanted to see if there was a big difference, and this side over here that I did bake does look a little smoother to me, but, you know, hey, that's okay. So, I'm going to put the lid on this because we're here in a minute. But you can also take baby powder like this. Now, my hair isn't dirty right now, but I've heard that you can use it in place of dry shampoo. So I'm going to take just a little bit. Now you probably could use the actual powder thing. This is not Johnson & Johnson, by the way. This is Angel of Mine baby powder. This is from the Dollar Tree. But I'm taking that and putting a little bit on my fingers. Now, the times I've seen girls do this, they have actually sprinkled it on their hair. I just did one little area right there. To me, it kind of gives me gray looking hair. So, and usually with dry shampoo, I don't leave it sitting for very long anyway. I'm just kind of rubbing that in just like I would a dry shampoo. So, and that seems to have taken that residue from, because I mean, earlier whenever I was doing moisturizer, I was just getting it, it was in my hair all around the perimeter. But I'm going to take that Hydro Fresh toner, do a few spritzes here. So, alright. And we're going to do a couple different things with the eyes here. I gotta let that dry for a minute. But while that's drying, alright, this is a Maybelline Color Sensational lipstick in Romantic Rose. I know I've used this in recent tutorials. Wipe off my lips a little bit. I'm going to take it and do my regular lipstick like I normally would. This is not a matte, it's a well, it's not overly glossy though either. More of a satiny type finish. And I've also heard, this is going back to the baby powder, but, you know, and I've never tried the baby powder idea, but I have done a translucent powder, and that does work. I don't like how it feels, but it does work. You take a tissue, now these are just some tissues. I try to keep tissues in my beauty area anyway. So, now they say to use a 1-ply, and these are some cheap little tissues that I bought a 3-pack of, I think from the Dollar Tree. So I believe they are 1-ply. And you put it over your mouth, and then you take a brush, like the brush I was using earlier, the big powder brush, and you dip it in that baby powder. I'm going to do that before I cover my mouth. I'm telling you what I'm doing, and then I will do it. I will cover my mouth with this tissue. This has a rougher side and a smoother side. What I'll do is I'll have the rougher side on the outside to really pick up that powder more. And then I'm going to dip this brush. Well, I'll be dipping the brush into the powder, really coating it pretty decent. You know, not even tapping off as much as I did earlier. So, just get a little bit of the excess off. But cover my mouth, and then I take this and just sweep it over that tissue, over where my lips are. I'll show you now. Put it over the lips, holding it down. I know that sounds weird. And then pat it on. No, that was supposed to help make my lipstick matte. No, it didn't. Yeah, so that was a bust, but you can take translucent powder and a tissue, or even no tissue even, and do that. But it really makes my lips feel like if I smile even, they're going to crack. So I try not to do that unless I really need some good staying power with a lippy I don't have anything in a long-lasting formula on. So, now a couple of other tips that I don't have footage of, but you can take a regular box of baking soda, and let me know if you want me to do a full video on uses of baking soda as well. take you a box of baking soda, get you about, I don't really measure it, honestly, but I just scoop a little bit out, because I keep a thing of baking soda in my bathroom for beauty purposes. Get a little bit in my hand, and then I'll take some kind of a, I don't usually do a exfoliating face cleanser. You know, nothing like with the beads, like not the morning burst or anything like that. But like the Neutrogena Gentle 2-in-1 face wash, I'll take that and pump a little bit in there and really just rub my hands together, get that baking soda worked into it a little bit. You don't want to go overboard because you want it to dissolve more on the face as you're working it. Work in circular motions, just like with your primer or moisturizer or anything. You want to work that in, and then that helps to slough off some dead skin, but in a more gentle way than some of the exfoliants I've bought do. Because I've had some exfoliants that really just work way too rough. Now you can make it even rougher by adding more baking soda. You could make it lighter. You know, even, I know I have not tried this yet, but even Biore came out with a baking soda face wash recently. So that's something that sparked that idea for me. It's not one I've really heard anyone talk about, but I thought, hey, I'm going to mention that one. And then this next one is to shave your legs, use hair conditioner. That's one that's been around for a long time. I swear by that one. I like how it feels to use conditioner better than shaving cream, honestly. And if you need to do a dry shave, you could use regular lotion, but I recommend only using disposable razors because in my experience, whenever I've done lotion, it's not any good afterwards. So, you know, but now that everything's dry and all that, I am taking my Scotch tape here. So, I'm going to take it and stick it on the back of the hand a couple of times. This just gets some of the stickiness off. Now, I tend to only do one time and really, push it down like you're really cementing it. But then I peel it off, if I can get it off sometimes. It's very difficult. Now, this is how I do some of my eyeshadow looks whenever I'm not filming. I'll take it and do it at the lash line and go up towards the brow. I go at that lash line and go up towards the brow like that. You know, and since you put it on the back of since I put it on the back of my hand, I don't have to worry as much about it pulling as bad whenever I take it off. But it also doesn't stick as hard, so there is still that need to be careful. So, you know, I'm just going to show you real quick how to do some eye makeup doing this. But you go right at that lash line, right at the corner of the eye, and you want to angle it up towards the tail of your brow, is what you want to do. What this is going to do is this is going to be a guard. Because I've already got my concealer and all that stuff on, my powder on. So whatever shadows I use, this will help catch the fallout, as well as give me a stencil, kind of like a guide for putting my eyeshadows. So we're going to do a very quick eye look here. Oops, maybe. Well, I'm just going to use this one here. This is the Trendy palette by Giordano Colors here. I'm going to take this real light peachy shimmery shade. It's it is basically just a real light peach color. And I'm going to put that all over my lid first on both eyes. And I'm going to speed this up so that this video isn't too long. Taking that and going to put it all over my eyes. Not up to the brow bone, but just on the actual lid space, because it is rather shimmery. Okay, Now I'm going to take the opposite side. This is the e.l.f. Duo brush thing that I'm using, by the way. This is one of my favorite sets to use besides the You Can Be one. And I'm going to take the smaller side of that fluffy brush, and I'm going to get some of this ruddy brown color. It's like a reddish brown to me, at least. I'm going to get some of that on there. And I'm going to stamp it, really work it on this outer V and then into the crease as well a little bit. So. This shadow is not as pigmented as I would like in some areas, so that's why I am taking it on into the crease, doing just like 3 colors on the lid, or on the eyes, instead of like 4 or 5 like I sometimes do. So I'm doing that again. I'm still working on my eyes here. And even if you get it on the tape, it's okay. You know, because I'm going to go up higher than what I usually do. I'm going to switch to the other brush that's more of a fluffier, well, it's larger at least, but it's a flat type brush. Okay, and my tape is coming up on my eye. Ah! But I'm going to kind of buff this color out a little bit. You can see I kind of went over more than I usually do. So, and like I said, actually this is a ruddy brown color. But and I'm working that on into the crease as well as, you know, that outer V area. Okay, there we go. That helps with that other side a little bit more. Kind of just bringing it in a little bit, trying to blend it in with that peachy shade a little more. And I'm just building this crap up. I mean, really build. You can tell that I'm not being as precise with any of this as I usually am. But that is okay. It's okay to have a grungy look here and there. But I know that doesn't really fit with, you know, having a stencil, but hey. So, I'm just doing this crease. Right there is what that looks like. But this is the Nano Liner by Absolute New York. So I'm going to take it and show you. We're going to try to do a little bit more fierce wing than I usually do, just to show you, because I'm still getting used to the wing. And see, I didn't get it down far enough really on this eye. But we are going bold here. And with a darker eyeshadow, it's hard to tell. I'm just lightly lining my, well, not lightly, but I am lining my eyes here. So it's hard to do this and talk for me. So, but now, here comes the moment of truth. Yes, I'm being goofy. Now on this side, I'm about to pull it off, and I'm getting close to you so you can see it as I do it here. But watch this here. Right there. And you can tell there's more on that one. And actually, yeah, I didn't use both hands on that one and got some fallout down here. But, you know, it does usually work for the wings. yeah, this is not the best eye look. So I was just showing you that you could do it for a crisp line, especially for the eyeshadow. That's what I primarily use it for. For me, I probably wouldn't use it to do liner. At least not a bold, big cat eye, because that's the first time I've attempted, really and truly, a big cat eye. But that's what it looks like there. So, but, and then we're going to talk mascara. But, so I'm just grabbing a random one here. This is the this is the e.l.f. Volumizing and Defining mascara. But what you do for this next hack is you grab your eyelash curler. You know, and I will show you here real quick. I'm going to get close enough so you can hopefully see me. I curl my eyelashes and I pump it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm pulling out as I do. And that's what my eyelash curler looks like with just that. But you take a good old hairdryer. Okay. Now I don't keep my fingers in that area just because, and I'm saying this for those especially that can't see that well or whatever. You know, I hold it up closer to the area. That way I also know I'm not getting it overly hot because I can use my thumb and test it. Turn the hairdryer on and heat up this curler. You don't have to hit it for very long with it, but here we go. And you can do low heat, you know, the low setting or the high setting. I tend to go high just because I'm impatient. Now this is still a little too hot for me, even. And that wasn't very long, just a few seconds. Okay, it's cooled off. It doesn't take long for it to cool off. But get close to you again here. Same eye, though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I'm going to go to the other side, and you'll see the difference here. Because that's what it looks like now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I pulse, like I said, I open, close, open, close, open, close, open, close. And that's what it looks like now. So I'm going to take my mascara and throw that on pretty quick. To me, it just gives a little bit better curl to warm up my eyelash curler. Now, if I don't have my hairdryer with me, I will use a straight up lighter. But you have to be very careful not to burn yourself, because that gets even hotter. That I do actually have to let it really cool off. Okay. Now I've heard different ways of doing this, so we're just gonna test one out here. And I wish that I could remember where I heard it from. I've got to get it to be able to do it. But what I'm doing is I am taking my lipstick here, and we are going to make a blush. See, because I'm nervous about, and I'm cleaning off my hands here using a makeup wipe before I ever do this, because, yeah. But I'm going to take a little bit of the lipstick and run it along my finger here. Now, if I were to take this, you know, now this color, the Romantic Rose that I have on my lips, that would possibly work as a blush. What you do is that you're warming it up whenever you rub your fingers together like I did. Because I rub them together, rub them together, rub them together. And then, you know, you would, instead of tapping it on my hand like I did, and then blending, you just tap it right on your cheeks. Well, another, and that's an oldie that I've heard for a long time, but I'm so nervous about getting too much, I don't tend to do it. But we're going to try one right now that might actually work. We shall see. You know, I don't have to worry about it as much, but, you know, I'm going to take this and put it directly on my hand. I mean, I'm using too much of it, I know, but I'm just showing you that there's quite a bit there, because I do want some pigmentation, because we're going to test it out here a couple different ways, or, you know, like with very little and then a little more. And then I'm going to take my primer here. We're going to do two different ways here, primer and moisturizer. Okay. Now, I'm going to, well, we'll start out with the primer. Better yet, we'll start out with this primer. And I'm just going to take a little bit of it, and I do mean like a tiny bit. That would probably be close to a pea-size amount. And I'm mixing it in, you know, mixing it together basically on one side. And this really does not want to mix. Yeah, it is. It's going. So, now this is better done whenever you do not have powder on. Okay? But since it's a more natural color, I'm not even seeing any color come off because I just swatched it right there. But probably used a little too much primer. But either way, you know, it's a... I'm going to wipe this off and we'll start fresh with the another thing here. But do another good swipe on my hand here. Because I was showing you what that looked like before. So do another good amount. Since I couldn't even see it, I didn't use it on my cheeks. But I've also heard that this would work too. Using, now this is a dual action moisturizer by Clean and Clear that I'm using. Just doing this, probably about a half a pump is what I did. And I basically did the same amount of lipstick there. So, and this just adds a little bit of moisture too, so for those with really dry skin and aging, this would really work for you. So, I mean, and this is more of a mauve-y, you know, that's what it looks like there. Yeah, and it would give a more natural flush, I guess, because I can see that a little bit. But I'm going to take just a little bit of this, rub it between my fingers here, get up to my mirror so I can see what I'm doing. Tap it on my cheeks, just a little bit. Okay. Actually, that might... You be the judge on that one. Let me know what you think, whether that actually worked or not, because personally, I can't see it. So, went a little bit too crazy with that eyeliner. But, that right there, you know, does work. And then you can do all sorts of options for highlight, and we'll do that one too while I'm thinking about it. Now this here is a tinted one, but it doesn't have a whole lot of tint. This is the Mentha lip tint. I don't believe I have a clear lip tint back here. No, I do not. Unless I want to use a lip plumping thing, and I don't really want to go that route, that's for sure. So I'm going to put just a teeny tiny, the tiniest amount on my finger. I mean, just like if someone were to prick their finger with a needle or something, where it's just a teeny tiny bit. because you can also use Vaseline. And I'm going at the top points of my cheekbones here. And just putting it on and pulling forward. Okay. Actually, that does work. Gives a little bit of a sheen. And you can blend it in with your fingers, too. So, at least in my opinion, that works. Might have a reddish tinge to it, but personally I wouldn't be able to see it. And with as little as I used, you know, but you can use Vaseline to do it, you know. And what was left on my hand of that blush, well, lipstick, I just rubbed it in. And so what do you think of these hacks? Do you think they were plus or fail? You know, the face hacks especially, and the eye hacks. Because personally, I tried a bunch of new hacks today that I've never tried. I've done the tape trick before. So let me know what you think and what your favorite hacks are, because I'd love to give them a shot too. So, and do you like this kind of video? If you do, please let me know, because I like to know what you like. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you have a great day. Bye-bye. I want to thank you so much for watching this video and taking the time out of your day to do that. So, I hope that you do subscribe so that you can see whenever I do post a new video. I also hope that you follow us on all of our social media as well. We have Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, and Pinterest, as well as I have a blog where I post different topics on as well that may pertain to this video, may not. I will be posting links in the section down below to where you can find that blog and find all the links to my social media, so I hope you subscribe. Thank you. Photos in this video were done by GMC Photo Editing, so I hope that you will check that page out on Facebook, and I will leave the link down below for you to click on it, so check it out and show her your support.